My next guest can be making his professional MMA debut coming up here at BTC 11 on August 15th. It is Devon Lozej joining me here on the program for the very first time. Devon, how's it going, man?
I'm going good, man. We're what are we? Little bit over a week out, ready to rock August 15th, man.
Yeah, it's a great card. We'll get into all that in a second here. But like I mentioned, first time you and I have had a chance to chat. Where did this journey begin for you? How did you get involved in combat sports?
So yeah, like I've said it many times, just starting as a young kid, watched the UFC when I was 12 years old, knew I wanted to do that, and that in that moment I knew I could be the best in the world, and here we are, starting the journey professionally August 15th. So I just a kid watching fights that wants to fight. That's it.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played hockey. Obviously, I'm in Canada, so everyone I know plays hockey at some point.
It's just a birthright of us as Canadians, by the way. Just in case people don't know, if you're from Canada, you're probably at least, played hockey or been in contact with hockey. It's part of our culture, right? So
yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, played some hockey till I was like 13, 14, and then I transitioned into wrestling, and that's where my base was at, and then now I'm in MMA. Now,
did you get into any fights when you played hockey?
Oh yeah. The reason why I got kicked out of my league for fighting, and because you weren't even allowed to fight, obviously, because we were too young. So I got kicked out, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go to a sport where I could actually be physical and beat someone up.
Good stuff. When did you sort of know this was something you wanted to pursue as a career? Because I know, like you said, you felt like you could be a world champion then, but it's also like, I know for some fighters, it's that first amateur fight, or maybe it's being training in the gym. When did you know this was something you really wanted to take seriously?
Well, I mean, I think I knew all along, even when I was young. It was about finding the right avenue to get to it, right? So I started with wrestling, competed for a long time as a wrestler, and then once I transitioned, got my first amateur fight, then it was kind of like, you know what, I could do this for real, and I could do it professionally. And these things take time. You got to build yourself up, and then here we are.
How did you link up with Dodge Sports, one of the best management groups in the game right now?
So just through social media, like just Instagram presence, me and my current manager, Joey, followed each other. We started just shooting some messages back and forth kind of thing. And then he was like, how it goes. And then we just got on some Zoom calls, and then here we are.
I imagine that's sort of how you got this opportunity with BTC. Like, tell me how this all came together.
Yeah. I signed with them, told them I wanted to fight in August. And then, boom, they got me this came up, and then I jumped right on the opportunity, man. And I'm happy to have it.
And your opponent's going to be making his debut as well by the looks of it here. Is it tough to find tape on him? How do you sort of assess him as an opponent? Yeah,
both of us are coming off a little bit of a layoff. Our last fights were in December of 2019, so I'm not really going to judge much. I'm expecting a brand new fighter with a whole new skill set. I'm prepared for everything, anything he could possibly have, I'm prepared for. So,
what's camp looking like? Where are you training right now, and who are some of your main training partners?
So I'm in Thunder Bay, Ontario right now. My head coach is Matt Richer. He's an amazing coach, as well as Matt Veal is one of my assistant coaches, former pro fighter, fought all over. So I'm training with these guys, bunch of young up-and-comers. Camp has been amazing. It's been great. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better. I'm wrestling with some guys at the Lakehead University here. We got jiu-jitsu, BJJ black belts I'm training with, everything like that. So, I'm covering all the bases, and camp has went smooth.
Awesome. That's good to hear, man. And weight cut, everything's going well leading into the fight?
Yeah. I don't cut much weight, to be honest. I cut about 12 pounds, so I'll do that once I get to Edmonton.
Any thoughts of dropping a weight class if it's an easier cut, or you kind of, you're good, I want to enjoy my food type thing?
Yeah, I want to enjoy fight week. These things are, fighting stressful enough, so I like to enjoy, being able to have a nice iced coffee, eat food, and just maybe 24 hours of suffering, get the weight down. And that way I'm fresh and I can push the pace for 15 minutes. I'm not depleting myself or depleting any of my performance.
Have you been to Alberta before?
I have been to Alberta. Yeah, I've been to Calgary and Edmonton as a kid. But yeah, it's been a while, so I'm going back.
Yeah, it's great. I imagine it's been difficult getting fights just being in Ontario specifically because of the fact that, there's not much going on with the travel restrictions and COVID and everything else, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's been tough. But, obviously BC had some fights. Now they're going out to Alberta. So, wherever we got to go to get these fights, I'm willing to go. And why not travel and make a little trip out of it and have some fun?
Who's going to be making the trip with you as far as your corner?
So I have my head coach, Matt Richer, and then one of my training partners, Kelton, will be coming with me. And then I'm linking up with a guy I wrestled with in Edmonton who lives there. So he's going to take care of some stuff for us down there and jump in the corner as well.
What can people expect on August 15th? How do you see this one playing out?
Man, just expect violence. This one's going to be violent. I think from the minute we go, we're both just waiting to get in there, two hungry dogs. So expect violence, and I'm going to put this guy away in 1, maybe 2 rounds. We'll see how lucky he is.
And, with this BTC opportunity, I imagine it's sort of like a one-fight deal, and then you sort of just see what's next. Because, it seems like regional MMA is picking up a little bit in terms of the pandemic.
Yeah, I got my eyes on all the promotions. BTC's been great so far. I like them, but we'll see where we go after August 15th, I'm going to go where the biggest, hardest fights are at. If BTC could find me those, then I could stay with them. But if it's somewhere else, the US, I'm willing to go there as well.
Imagine short-term goals are probably just, keep active, build that resume up a little bit, and then sort of look towards like a Contender Series or maybe one of those UFC Fight Pass promotions. Yeah,
that's the dream. That's part of the dream, man, is, just beat all these guys, clear out Canada in this division, and then go knocking on the door of the UFC. That's the goal.
And I don't know if this played a role at all with you signing with Dodge, but one of the great things about them is they find opportunities in the U.S. You look at Aaron Jeffrey, you look at Jasmine Jazavidius, like a lot of those fighters that are under that roster are getting those opportunities. You're not seeing that with every management group. Is that something you kind of looked at as well when you signed with them?
Yeah, the biggest interest that brought me was obviously the Canadians, guys like Aaron Jeffrey that I know, like, seen fight for a while. I seen them, so I knew there was some type of connection. It got me curious, and they do a good job. Dodge Sports is amazing, and they allow us just to go in there and perform. They take care of everything else so that we could just do our best and get these W's.
What else do you do aside from fighting in terms of work? I imagine you have a day job?
No, I don't. I'm all in. I train.
Oh, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
I do. I teach some classes at the gym that I'm at, like some MMA, wrestling, stuff like that, beginner level stuff, and then do my training on top of it. So it's been pretty busy. The Dodge Sports got me doing a lot of media too, so now it kind of feels like a job. So
good. Well, that's awesome. What did you do before that? I'm sure you had something to kind of pay the
various
bills
jobs, man. I worked all over the place. My last job, I was selling furniture at a sales place. Actually making really good money, which was cool. I didn't know you could do that selling furniture, so that was great. And then, I've been off for a while now, just focusing on this, just getting things 100% so that I'm prepared to, become one of the best fighters in the world one day. And it starts August 15th.
You mentioned the layoff. Is there one thing in particular, or maybe a few things that you feel like you've really improved on since the last time we saw you fight?
Yeah, probably just being way more well-rounded. I feel like before I kind of, I relied on my wrestling, and in my last amateur fight, I felt like I was starting to put it together on the feet, but I was still having to look for the takedown. I feel like this fight, if I want to, I could stand with this guy and pick him apart and not even take him down once if I want to. Obviously, the path of least resistance is putting him on the ground, but, I'm ready to go everywhere, and I feel more well-rounded than I've ever been, so.
Any plans to do any cross-training down the line? Again, I know you got this fight coming up here. Is that something you're thinking about after? Especially, you mentioned Aaron, the time of recording this, he got to corner Sean Strickland this past weekend. Yeah,
definitely cross-training. I'm going to go down to Niagara Top Team that has a connection with Dodge Sports. I've been to Rufus Sport. I want to go back there. I've been to TriStar. I want to go back there. I love training everywhere. My coaches encourage it too, just to get all these different looks from some of the best guys in the world. And, and make connections that last a lifetime, which is one of the best things about martial arts, like the community around, the media, everything like that. So, I plan to be all over the place.
Imagine you're a hockey fan. I would assume you're still watching, or yeah?
Yeah, not as much now. I'm kind of like, you're obviously a big fight fan too. There's fights on every weekend. That kind of takes most of my time is watching all these fights, training, stuff like that. But I'll watch a hockey game for sure.
Are you a Leafs guy, or who do you support? Or are you just...
I kind of like the Jets, to be honest. I was born in Manitoba. So,
cool. Okay.
When the Jets came back, we all just jumped on the bandwagon. So, but I like the Habs as well, and I like the Leafs. I'm not a hater. I think you could, if I could like every team, why not?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What other hobbies are you into? What are some other things you like doing as far as like downtime? I don't know if you're a video game guy, or you like going hiking,
I play outdoor. I live in Thunder Bay here, so we have great outdoors. I love doing stuff outdoors, going for hot tubs, going out to camp. I love playing Call of Duty as well with some of my boys, just kill some time in between training. That's nice and fun. Take my mind off fighting. But honestly, my biggest passion, is just MMA. I love when I'm not in the gym. I love watching fights, studying fights, breaking down film, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Do instructionals online, just learning as much as I can. That's a real passion. So the other stuff is just, just to fill some of that time and take my mind off when I need it.
You're a student of the game, which I like.
Student of the game, yeah.
This will be my last question, kind of ties into this. If someone's never seen you fight, is there a fighter out there, or maybe, you know, combination of fighters that remind you of your fight style? Something that you sort of feel like when you watch tape that kind of reminds you of that fighter in a particular way? It could be about anything. Maybe it's just the way you walk into the cage. I don't know. Is there something that comes to mind when I say that?
For me, like, if I'm going to pick this, like, on the feet, I feel like things that I've taken from Max Holloway. Obviously, he's a world-class striker, and I'm not. But just how calm he is and how he moves and the way he could see things. I've studied a lot of the way he's relaxed on the feet, moves in and out. So on the feet, kind of like a Max, and that's a guy I look up to, great fighter. And then, yeah, obviously someone like Khabib. You know, I push the pace and look for the takedown and look to use control to really hurt guys on the ground. So maybe a mix of those two guys. But, you know, I'm still evolving. So if I could be those two guys together, man, I'll be able to beat anyone in the world. So.
Devon, this was awesome. Appreciate the time.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to this card, BTC 11. It's so good to see more regional MMA popping up here and there. It's going to be taking place August 15th. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media you want to plug? I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I just want to thank some sponsors. So here in town, I got Chloe Darling, my guy Jordan, who is a real estate, as well as back home Wabigoon Chain of Lakes, and as well, there's one more clicking in the back of my head.
But you probably post on your social media in case you forget it, right?
I will, but yeah, my guy Hanny just dropped a new album, so go check that out. He's one of my sponsors as well. So, and then thank you to Dodge Sports and my team at Leading Edge. We're gonna go get this W on August 15th.